We continue this half hour with the disruption of life and missions because of the coronavirus pandemic. And that includes the fight against plastic pollution. Some bans on the use of plastic bags were quickly tossed out, and suddenly personal protective gear was everywhere. Now, many of those objects are showing up in fields, lakes, rivers, and oceans, here and in nations around the world. Roxana Saberi has the story.
On the shores of southwest England, Emily Stevenson has spent more than a decade cleaning up trash.
The beach looks
Last year, she showed us what she typically discovers.
I think we're definitely finding more plastic bottles and, well, more plastics in general.
But as the COVID-19 pandemic has spread, she's been finding a new kind of plastic pollution: single-use masks and gloves.
171 plastic gloves surrounding one supermarket in the southwest of England.
How long can this stuff stay in the environment?
It quite often will get saturated when it's in the marine environment, so the gloves will get filled with water, or the face masks just get so sodden that they will just sink to the bottom. And once the plastic and this debris is on the sea floor, there's no telling how long it's going to stay there for.
From the U.S. to Europe and Asia, plastic linked to the pandemic is piling up.
And now we have this to contend with.
It's adding to the roughly 300 million tons of plastic waste the UN says is produced every year, most of which ends up as litter and landfill.
99% of plastics is made from fossil fuels, and we know that they are a major contributor to climate change.
Natalie Fee runs a nonprofit in England called City to Sea, campaigning against plastic pollution.
And these aren't recyclable because they're different types of plastic, whereas with a reusable mask, you can wear it multiple times, you can put it in the wash at the end of the day.
For the average person like me, the reusable one is
Exactly.
better. Just wash it every night?
Exactly, you can just throw it in your washing machine, throw it in with your clothes.
But single-use plastic is also surging in other ways. Deliveries wrapped in plastic have soared. Coffee shops like Starbucks have temporarily stopped filling reusable cups. And some U.S. cities and states suspended or postponed bans on plastic shopping bags. The plastics industry has lobbied for these rollbacks, arguing that single-use plastic is the safest material to protect people from COVID-19. Tony Radoszewski, CEO of the U.S.-based plastics industry organization, has called on the Department of Health to speak out against bans on these products as a public safety risk. But the World Health Organization has stated the virus can survive on plastic for up to 3 days.
Actually, it's not been proven to be any safer than reusables.
Groups like City to Sea are promoting ways to avoid single-use plastics in the pandemic.
Would you be able to take the lid off of it?
For example, by reducing contact with customers at coffee shops like this. And Emily says despite the mounting plastic trash, she's still hopeful about the future.
Communities all over the world are still so engaged, and they still want to fight this.
Maybe even more than before. Now that many people have reconnected with nature during lockdowns, she believes they'll try harder to protect it. For CBS This Morning Saturday, Roxana Saberi, London.
It's like this tricky balancing act, because obviously people have concerns and trying to do the safe thing, but then there is all that new plastic. I see a lot of those masks, by the way, walking around the streets.
Yeah, absolutely, all over the streets. You know
Yeah.
there are going to be some unintended consequence. The question is how long it takes to fix.
No doubt.